I enjoy using Anchor podcasting services. For one, it's an easy setup. Secondly, you can do everything on the same platform, which includes record and then add music to your podcast if you like. And once your podcast has been saved, you can then distribute it to other platforms with the click of a button. And did I mention that it's free? You couldn't ask for anything better than this. Thank you for tuning into Bringing the Heat with Regina Weston. Here we inspire and deal with topics that matter. Stay tuned. Bringing the Heat will now release new episodes bi-weekly on Wednesdays. So mark your calendars. Hold up and wait a minute, Bringing the Heat listeners. To find out about all things Regina, visit my website at www.reginaweston.com. There you can purchase all my books and learn more about my nonprofit organization, which is Mending Hearts, Women Healing Women. And if you would like to support this podcast, you can do so by using my Cash App, $RWeston252. Now let's get into it. I'm going to start this off with a disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am not a psychiatrist. I have no degree in the medical field whatsoever. But what I am is a mother. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I want to encourage mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunties, friends to pay close attention to our children. Our children are dealing with so much, and for some it's just unbearable. For some adults, life is just unbearable. So can you imagine the stresses on the mind of a child that is not equipped to deal with some of the things that they are being faced with? With that being said, pay close attention to your children. If you see them doing anything outside of normal behavior, allow your antennas to go up and become a private spy. Watch them very closely so that you can intervene if they need your help to prevent them from doing something that may cause them bodily harm. Now, I want to speak on this subject matter because I had this issue with one of my children. My son was 4 years old. That's very young. At the age of 4, how this child even know this word was mind-boggling to me. I got a phone call from the school telling me, Miss Weston, we need you to come up to the school. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? They said that your child said that he wanted to take his life. I was very concerned. What was going on in my baby's mind to want him to tell his teacher that he wanted to take his life at the age of 4 years old? I went up to the school, I spoke with the teacher, and I asked my son, baby, what's going on that you no longer want to be in this world with mommy? Our children in school do not learn at the same pace as other children. And when you have some teachers that make your child feel bad because of their learning disability, it plays on that child's self-esteem. And this is what happened to my child. He felt because he wasn't learning at the same pace as other children that he wasn't good enough at 4 years old. And that made him not want to be a part of this world anymore. Now, I go hard for my children. I preach education. I teach education. So I have always taught my children how to read. I've always read to them. I've always taught them how to write. I taught them how, back in the day you used to buy those books where they can trace their letters. I've always been a storyteller. So I am one of those parents that has tried to do everything in my power to help my children be the best they can be in school. But I did realize that my son had a learning disability. And because of that, it made him depressed. He felt like he wasn't smart. Then he felt like he was not good enough, and that played on his self-esteem. This particular child, I have to watch him. I have to encourage him because he gets discouraged quick. So I'm saying that to say, parent, pay attention to your children. Try to help them in those areas where they lack self-esteem. And do your best to build them up. Do your best to encourage them. Let them know that even though you do not learn at the same pace as other people, even though you cannot do what everybody else can do, you are still good enough to be here. You are still somebody. You are still worthy of love. There are many reasons as to why our children are overwhelmed with life. Because of COVID, because of having to learn online. Some children do need that one-on-one with a teacher. Some children do need extra help. Pay attention to your child. I'm speaking from a personal standpoint on why my child felt less than. Your child may be different. They may be getting bullied. They may not feel like they're pretty enough, good looking enough. They may not feel like they have the right clothes. They don't fit into the image that society is. When I say society, I'm talking about their peers. They can't dress like their peers. They don't have the expensive sneakers. They don't have the name brand clothing. And so it makes them feel less than. They don't feel good enough. Pay attention to your child. If you see that your child is self-medicating, if you see that your child is doing anything outside of their normal behavior, have a conversation with your child. Don't say, "Oh, I knew something was different, but I just couldn't put my finger on it." Don't be so caught up in your life that you miss the warning signs that can save your child. Because you have a responsibility to your child. Anyone that brings a child into this world has a responsibility to care for them. You never stop being a parent. I'm still a parent. And I will be a parent until I close my eyes. And I will ride, jump through hoops, do backflips to help my children. Period. Their life is precious. Everything about them is precious. And I am tired of hearing countless stories of our babies taking their lives. For whatever the reasons, it doesn't matter. What matters is they have a voice and they cry out for help in subtle ways. And so we can't be consumed in our own world so much that we disregard what's going on in the lives of the children in which we gave life to. Because their life is precious. I just wanted to say that. That was on my mind because when Regina King's son took his life, if you have a heart for people other than those in your family or friend circle, you just have a good heart overall, when you see somebody else hurting, you're going to hurt. Which is why when they say it takes a village to raise children, it's so true. It is so true. Because everybody need to keep their eyes open. You know why? Because some children do not have a stable environment, but you can be that one that sees something going on and you have the ability to speak up and speak out, and it can save that individual life. That's all I'm saying. Let's try to save lives. Let's help our young people. Let's encourage them. Let's lift them up. Every child is not bad. Every child don't have a death wish. There are many reasons as to why some of our boys and girls are doing the things that they're doing. But we that are older, let's step in, let's love on them, let's give them some guidance, let's give them some encouragement, and let them know that I know that life is overwhelming, but you can get through. I'm here to help you to make it through the day, to make it through tomorrow, to make it through next week, to make it through next month, to make it through next year. Our young people need to know that we love them, we care about them. We are concerned about the total man, the total woman, their total being. Pay close attention to your children so that you can save their life or the life of someone else's child. Because things are only going to get worse in this world. The school system is messed up. The children fighting the teachers fighting the children. The aggression is getting more and more and more. People are doing stuff due to stress and pressure. And those that sitting on the sideline that are sensitive, trust me, these things are affecting them. Some people just don't feel as though their voice is strong enough to speak out. Pay attention to the signs and help them. Help them with problem solving and coping skills. Help them. Tell them that they are not alone. Get them the help, the medical help they need. They can suffer from anxiety. They can suffer from bipolar disorder. They can be depressed. There's many factors, but we have to pay attention to what's going on with our child. And if you do that, you might not have to shed unnecessary tears if you listen to this message and it open your eyes to make you notice some things that you had not noticed before. And you know what? Start telling your children that you love them. Start telling them that you are proud of them. Don't let when you open your mouth, it's to jump down their throats because they didn't do something right. It's okay to say you didn't do that right, but I love you and can you do better? You know, because we do have some parents that they only highlight their child when a child has done something wrong. But they never praise them when they do what's right because they feel that you supposed to do this and you supposed to do that. Might be true, but still praise them. A little praise never hurt nobody. Everybody need encouragement. Everybody. Save a life. Open your eyes and pay attention to what's around you. Because whenever somebody takes their life, it affects all of us. Remember that. Now, if you would like to support this podcast, you can do so by using my Cash App at $RWeston252. Be sure to subscribe to this podcast, like it, share it, along with your thoughts on this episode. And dear hearts, keep it classy. Smooches. Now, until we meet again, go and grab yourself a mirror. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I am loved, I am unique, and I am valuable. Now give yourself a kiss. That's a kiss from me to you. Know that I love you and I got your back. To listen to this podcast, you can go to Anchor.fm, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, and other sites where podcasts are available.